So my name is Eileen Spinner, and I'm here today to talk to you about the importance of life review at the end of life. Each of you has a story, and each of those stories should be honored and remembered and carried on into the future. Let's say someone told you that you have 30 days to live. Just 30 days. What would you do in those 30 days? Would you be overcome by the sadness or maybe the disappointment that you aren't going to maybe accomplish everything that you want in your life? Or would you maybe take it as an opportunity to sit with your loved ones, to share stories, to say thank you, to say I love you, to thank them for what they've done for you in your life? I would hope that maybe one of those nights you would sit around a table and eat your favorite food, whatever that may be, and you'd share what kind of mark you've made on this world, or maybe what's important to you, maybe your hopes for them, finding closure. It's important to share your life. My hope would be that you would take that time to share your story with them so that it would bring you comfort and meaning and purpose, but that it would also comfort them in knowing that you're dying, but that you're sharing your stories to live on into the future. Life review is something that is documented in research through dignity therapy, that it's important for people to talk about their life, whether there are good memories or bad memories, to work through those things and to share what kind of mark they've made on the world. The BJC Hospice Lumina program does just this. Our focus is looking at someone's life and finding what's important to them and making books or letters or videos or audio recordings or whatever it is that they want to leave behind. We also sometimes make memory pillows or bears or blankets from the patient's clothing because sometimes we don't have the time to meet with the patient. They come to us too late, and so we don't have that time with them to get all of their stories to write down for their family members. So we take the time after they've passed to find ways to make meaning. We've even sat with grieving spouses and helped them write their husband's story, and they find so much comfort in that. And dignity therapy research shows that it brings them comfort knowing that they are sharing that person's story and carrying them into the future for future generations to know them. I want to share a few stories with you today. One of them is baby Zoe. She was only on this earth for 3 months and 27 days, and she was born with trisomy 18. But in those 3 months and 27 days, she touched so many lives, and so we sat with her mom and her dad and her family members, and we made concrete items like this frame with the mom's favorite song and with footprints and pictures so that her story can be carried into the future, and she continues to this day to touch people's lives. We had a man named Stephen who 10 years ago when he was diagnosed with leukemia said, you know what, I'm gonna have a lot of time on my hands when I'm doing my treatments. So he started trying some watercolors, and he was pretty good at it. And so when we met him, he had all these beautiful watercolor paintings. And in reviewing his life, this was something really important to him. And so his last wish was to have an art show. So we put on an art show for him. And in doing that art show, it gave him some peace to know that his legacy was being carried forward. And that art show turned into a memorial art show that then was comforting for his family to remember him. There are many moms, grandmothers, grandparents, fathers that have written letters, books, made videos for their families over the years. One of my favorites was working with this patient, Jory, and she made books and letters and birthday cards and CDs of her singing so that her son would have memories of her. And later on in life, when he wanted to feel her and to know who she was, he had these books. And so this ABC book that she made talked about who she was and her hopes for him. And one of my favorites was the M Mommy. She said, I will always be with you, whether in heaven or on earth. I will always be in your heart, always, always. And so she's always with him in a special way through this concrete book. Joe and Ellie were both on our hospice care, and we ultimately made a book that was a conversation between the two of them, because when you'd visit them, they would just share these incredible stories of their life in their home and in their travels. And Joe and Ellie really, in this little snippet from their book, talk so profoundly about how life review is important. And Joe says, Ellie, I have loved reminiscing with you and sharing the joys we experienced both growing up and growing old together, and more importantly, sharing so that our grandkids and their kids can experience it as well. You and I have crossed many oceans. We've seen the tops of the highest mountain peaks, but we never lost sight of a very basic rule, and that is live and love life to the fullest. Love each other with extremes. The love in our life speaks volumes. The life in our love has been fulfilling. They share such a profound way of what that reminiscing did for them, and hopefully now for their kids and grandkids. They will always know who they were, what they believed, what was important to them. So my point here today is for you to go and capture your story. Give yourself a chance to honor who you are and the mark you have made on this world. Or if you have someone that you know that has a life-limiting illness or is terminally ill, and you feel like, I don't know what to do, go talk to them. Just have them share their stories, even if you've heard their stories 1,000 times. Because by them sharing with you, it gives them comfort. And it'll give you comfort knowing that you've given them a moment in time to tell who they are and the mark they've made. So go out there and capture those stories. Thank you.